All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rechak, Wadash. Help understood the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations until the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, in this lesson, I want to deal with the Syro-Phoenician woman, all right, who was a Greek, but by nation she was of Canaan, which we've done several breakdowns on that she wasn't literally a natural Canaanite. She resided in Tyre, Zidon area, that region, which is two cities that the Canaanites actually inhabited, and they were known for their wisdom and their trade. They had ports, so when they were sovereign and they ruled for a period of time, they did pretty well. But that was a territory that was above the northern part of Israel, and it just happened to be that there was a woman up there, who was of that region, but she came up in the Greek fashion, the Greek culture. She didn't come up, practicing the law. She wasn't keeping the high holy days or anything like that. So anyway, I want to deal with that because, this platform right here, the bigger picture, he had Nate join again. And the question that was asked was about the Mosai being a racist. And he wanted to get more, I guess, clarification on it. And Nate happens to use the Syro-Phoenician woman as an example. All right. And I guess implying that woman that Yahushai came across, all right, that wanted her daughter to be healed of that demon, he's implying that she was not an Israelite, based on his use of this example. All right. Yahushai knew she was an Israelite, but he used a tactic to draw out the faith that she actually had. All right. He what he did was he ignored her when she cried out for him. And then when she continued to get his attention and she insisted on him to actually help her with her daughter, he insulted her. And a lot of Israelites that don't understand, they'll use this example to say, oh, she was not an Israelite. Because look, the Lord ignored her, then he insulted her, called her a dog. Yeah, she was not an Israelite. But in this lesson, we're just going to clarify, why Yahushai actually did what he did. It was a tactic. All right, but it doesn't prove that she was a non-Israelite. All right, so anyway, let's get into it.
And he was saying, oh, we thank God that we're not Gentiles or when. I said, really? That's the morning prayer. I said,
Wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah, a great disdain. If you go on YouTube and even look up racism in Israel, you'll see how they treat black people over there. When I say bad, it's bad.
He said that too. So he said that he looked in the camera, so you saw that part, and said, oh, Jews are racism.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He said, yeah, Jews are racist, but then he turned to try to say, well, we racist too. So you told me, I asked him, well, what does race, meaning that we think that our race is superior than all others? Then he switched it. I said, oh, no. Just, prejudice, like. So I'm like, which one is it?
Right.
Because you said, I know y'all are racist.
Yes.
But then you said we're racist. We're racist?
Right. Now, I'll say this. We shun away from the word racist a lot of times because it has a negative connotation. But just saying you're for your race, like Marcus Garvey stood for his race. It wasn't that he wanted to kill or annihilate other races. He loved his people. And that was taken as being racist. Now, what about Jesus Christ? Give me that Matthew 15.
And then, of course, he's using the JC word. You know, he's at a corporate level now. He on a public platform like these platforms he's joining, he can never use the real name. All right, he's compromised. Okay, so just expect that. But let's keep going.
Mark 7. One of those two is good. Look it up for me. Mark 7 or Matthew 15 and 24. Watch what Jesus said with the Mark 7. I think I want that. Mark 7. Yeah, I think I want that. I think. Is that the one I want? Well, Matthew 27. Yeah. Go ahead.
Which verse? 25. The book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 25. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek.
The woman was what?
A Greek. A Syro-Phoenician.
She was a Greek, meaning culture-wise. She came up in the Greek fashion. There were Israelites all up there, man. Because we know that during the Hellenization period, you had, going back to the time of Alexander, you know, he had established a lot of Greek provinces, you know, all throughout the known world. All right. And even up in Tyre, Zidon. All right. A lot of these Greek names, like, for example, Alexandria, he conquered these cities and changed them to these Greek names. And now they're anachronisms. Okay. So let's go here real quick. Let's deal with what these Jews said about Yahushai. Let's go to John 7 and 30. I'll start at verse 34. It says, I'll start at 33. It says, Then said Yahushai unto them, Yet a little while I am with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. You shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither you cannot come. Then said the Jews among themselves. So these were practicing Jews, or that kept the high holy days. They kept the Sabbath. Okay, they didn't shave their beards. So these were actual practicing Jews, and this is what they were saying among themselves. It says, Whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? And they're saying this because they know that a lot of our people, they were scattered. They were dispersed among the nations. All right. For, generation after generation, a lot of Israelites were, living up in these different regions, and they took on the practice and the cultures of these other nations. Primarily at the time was the Greeks. All right. They lived in these Greek provinces, and that's all they knew. They spoke in the Greek language, worshiping Greek gods. So Jake became like a Greek. All right. And when you understand this passage here, when it says Gentiles, the word there is an ethnos. Normally for the word Gentile, the word ethnos would be there, but the translation just uses Gentile in place of an actual term, a Hellen, all right, which is Greek. Okay. That's why you got to go into the words. And the word is Hellen. So they understood that you're going to have some Hellen that were Israelites that did not come up in the Israelite fashion. So you see all these other translations is telling you, NIV, the Jews said to one another, Where does this man intend to go that we cannot find him? We will go where our people live, scattered among the Greeks, and teach the Greeks. So this is the answer. And we know that our people were the ones that were scattered, dispersed. Okay. They used the word dispersion, disperse. So that woman that Yahushua encountered, she was a Helen Jake, but she lived in the territory of Canaan, the Canaanites, which, all of Israel was once upon a time Canaan, but Tyre and Zidon, those were cities that were ruled literally by Canaanites. Okay, the Phoenicians. So if they're still teaching that she's a heathen, then they're definitely behind. All right, and that wouldn't be really a good, because early on, if you really thought that she wasn't an Israelite, then yeah, it's a good usage to prove that the Lord was a racist and whatnot, in which the Lord is for His people. That's who He only died for. But this example can't be used because that woman that he went to, or that came to him, she was an Israelite. But let's keep going, because he's going to mention how the Lord ignored her and insulted her. So she couldn't have been an Israelite, right? So let's listen.
Syro-Phoenician by nation.
Watch this.
And she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Jesus said unto her, let the children first be filled.
Let the children of Israel first be filled.
For it is not meet
It is not right.
to take the children's bread and to cast it unto the dogs.
What do you call it?
Unto the dogs.
Christ called this Greek woman a dog. Go ahead.
And she answered and said unto him, yes, Lord.
So she agreed she's a dog.
Yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs.
She said, can I have a crumb? Can I have a crumb from you, right?
And he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way. The devil is gone out of thy daughter.
So now he heals the daughter. He gave her a crumb. But what I want you to see, he insulted her first. He called her a dog. Jesus Christ, that black man with white woolly hair, skin like it burned in the furnace. Yes, he blessed her, but he said, I got to get my dig in first. He called her a dog. Now, when you go to the same...
Okay. So he insulted her and he called her a dog, even though when he explained that, when he made that statement, he used the same scenario in a parable concerning Lazarus and the rich man. We know that the rich man, he was proud. He lived very fair. He was wealthy. He was comfortable. But Lazarus, he was humble because he was the beggar. All right, he had sores, and he was begging from the master to give him a crumb from that fall from his table. So he was in a position of meekness, humility. Right. Well, the fact that he really used a parable of the humble versus the proud and rich as an insult to her, all it did was draw out the humility and the faith that woman actually had, and that was the tactic. All Yahushua did was simply use a tactic, and it drawed out what he already knew about her. Okay? And sometimes the Lord will do that. Sometimes he'll prove you. He'll test you. He'll use a tactic to test you out. And she was proven. She played the game and she went along, humbled her, she remained humble, and she got what she seeked for. Her daughter was healed. Now let me get this real quick. Let's go to Luke 11. This is Luke 11. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 5, and it says, "And he said unto them, Which of you shall have a friend, and shall go out unto him at midnight, and say unto him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine is in his journey, is come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, Trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed, I cannot rise and give thee. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth." And just like that woman, all right, Yahushai, he kind of played the game with her as if he wasn't going to give her request. But she showed her importunity, right? She was willing to be called a dog or whatever, just so that he can grant that request to her. And what she asked, she ended up getting, because she showed importunity. That's what he drawed out from within her. All right. So this doesn't necessarily mean that she was a heathen and the Lord was showing his racism towards the woman. He just drew out that importunity within her because she knew that he was the son of the Most High. She even referred to him as the son of David. So she knew he was the Mashiach. So she had to have been an Israelite woman. Okay. And you look up the word importunity, because she was basically begging him just like Lazarus in that parable. It says impudence, i.e. by implication, importunity, shamelessness, impudence, shamelessness. All right, basically to the when you beg somebody to the point of being annoyed, and you be like, all right, hurry up, man. I got you. Now leave me, type of thing. Basically the Lord was teaching how to basically make supplication. When you ask the Lord anything, you got to be persistent at times, so that the Lord can actually remember your prayer. That's what establishes that relationship. You constantly calling upon him. Luke 11:9, it says, "And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you." And that's what she was doing. The Syro-Phoenician woman. Okay. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open. So the Lord opened to her when he realized how willing she was to be humble. She was taking his insults. She didn't care about the men around Yahushai getting annoyed that she was begging for him to, heal her daughter. She didn't care. So she was being persistent. Let's get an example. Acts 16:16. You had an Israelite woman that was possessed. In Acts 16:16, it says, "And it came to pass as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. The same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, These men are the servants of the Most High God, which shew unto us the way of salvation. And this did she many days. But Paul being grieved," so she was being importunate. She was constantly begging him and, constantly, crying out for him. And, for days they was ignoring her, right? It says, Paul being grieved turned and said to the spirit, "I command thee in the name of Yahushua Mashiach to come out of her." And he came out that same hour. Are y'all gonna say that she was a non-Israelite woman? Because, they didn't insult her, but they did ignore her. And then eventually Paul, performed that miracle and granted her that request. So this is that example. Okay. This is why the Lord did what he did. Okay. Let's go to when he healed that blind man. Let me see if I can find that one. I think it's in Mark 10. Bear with me while I look for it. Here we go. This is Bartimaeus receiving his sight back. Mark 10:46, it says, and they came to Jericho, and as he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the highway side begging. Right? So he was being made a beggar, right? Because of his condition. And he said and when he heard that it was Yahushua of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Yahushua, thou son of David. Just like the woman, the Syro-Phoenician woman, she even referred to him as the son of David. So the spirit was on them. How could they have been, not Bartimaeus, but the other woman? All right. How could she have been a heathen, but knew that he was the son of David? And the spirit was on her. It says, have mercy on me. And many charged him that he should hold his peace. It was basically telling him, hey, man, be quiet, man. Stop disrupting the Lord. But he cried the more a great deal, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Yahushua stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee. Okay. And he casting away his garment rose and came to Yahushua. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, what wilt thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. And Yahushua said unto him, go thy way, thy faith have made thee whole. And immediately he received his sight and followed Yahushua in the way. So it was the same thing, man. He used tactics to draw out people's faith around him. So dealing with the Syro-Phoenician woman, he told her, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It says, then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table, which is what was used in his parable. And that was a representation of Israel. Lazarus representing Israel in their low estate. Okay, you had the dogs that came around and licked the sores. And he was just eating the crumbs that fell from the master's table. So this was a confirmation of her humility and faith. It says, then Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Just like he told Bartimaeus, be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. She was an Israelite woman. Okay. So obviously, some of these Israelite groups, they still have a lack of understanding when it comes to this particular topic. All right. It wasn't the Lord being a racist towards a heathen woman. This was an Israelite woman. All right. And sometimes the Lord will use these tactics. Yeah, let's go to real quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter. Deuteronomy 8. And I'm going to start at 1. It says, all the commandments which I command thee this day shall you observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what is in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commands or no. So you don't think that, with the Most High being in Yahushua and Yahushua being in the Most High, that Yahushua didn't display certain tactics and ways of his father? Because right here, it's telling you how the Lord deals with, how the Lord would deal with Israel. So it seemed to me like Yahushua used this same tactic on how he was dealing with certain people to draw out their faith. It was to prove them, to know what was in their mind. And these several encounters, these were people that really, really had real, true, genuine faith and humility. So even the insult was just to prove that woman. Okay. So I just want to go into that, to show why the Lord actually did that. It wasn't because she was of a heathen, she was because if you're going to say she's a Greek, then you might as well say she was an Edomite. So now the Lord is healing the Edomites now? Nah, man, that's not the case. These were Israelites. All right. Only Israel is the true household of faith. Even though the Lord said from the beginning that you're not going to find such faith in Israel. You had a lot of unbelievers, but then you had the ones that were lowly, but they were actually rich in faith. They were poor, but rich in faith. And that's what the Lord was dealing with. So, I guess he's the general now. He's bishop. He's general, but he can't even understand this. Like Yahushua told Nicodemus, you're this master. You're on this high level, but you don't understand this that I'm telling you. So I just want to touch on that. All right, and the further you listen to this, you're gonna see that he's using the fact that Yahushua insulted her and ignored her, as if she was a heathen, so he didn't want nothing to do with her. But that's not the case here, man. So hopefully y'all were edified, and I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and then to the next one, Shalom.